Alright, so this is Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition, as opposed to, I guess, just Gold Edition. There are some additional things that are added into the this edition, but let's go ahead and enter. We can go into this one. I'll just jump back here. Let's go ahead and warp. These are all the different locations you can go to. Let's go ahead and go back to the beginning. This is, of course, one of the beginning portions of the game. Let's go ahead and talk about mechanics. So you got your regular punches you can do. You got jump. Double jump is an ability that you get late in the game, actually. So normally you can only single jump around places. And then there is like a wall stick. I guess you can call this game like a Metroidvania because, you know, you get a bunch of different abilities that open up new areas. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and go back on what I said. Let's go ahead and check out the other file. And yes, there are different outfits you can equip. As you come in here at these save points, you can come in and choose your outfit. You can either be male or female. The guy is the main character, and the woman is another character in the game, but you don't have to play as. You could choose, I guess you can choose to be either one. And then a lot of these costumes are unlocked as you use coins to purchase them, and they have different abilities, different little aspects of them, which you can change up how you play a little bit if you choose them. Let's go ahead and just take the standard outfit. And then abilities is use coins to unlock upgrades for your character. Different things like that, make yourself stronger. And then these are save points, so every time you see that skull in the lower right corner, it's saving for you. And then, like I said, we've got the warps, fast travels around the world. Very handy. And then if we look here, this is a good map to look at because it's not completely filled out. But as you can see, there are some blue blocks and red and green. If you zoom in there, and you can also zoom out to see all the save points. And then that head right there, that's the fast travel point. Let's go ahead and show. Another ability you get late in the game is the ability to switch dimensions. So as you see those kind of see-through platforms right there, I can't land on those. But if I switch dimensions, I can land on them. And then the uppercut ability is something you get. This is like these blue blocks, they can only be broken by the blue ability, which is this side B move, the only way I can describe it. Yeah, you get a lot of these, some of these abilities you get as you go through the game. So like normally you have your punch and jump moves, but you get your uppercut and your ground pound and your side attack and your headbutt move. As you can see, this is yellow, this is blue, this is red, and this is green. So there are blocks around the world that can be broken with those moves specifically. And then you also have a dodge, which is you press like, you can either use the right stick actually to dodge, or you can use, what I usually do is L2. You can use that to dodge as well. And dodging is important because it gets you through things like spikes. So you can dodge through spikes, which you have to roll through. You can also use it in the air, so you can roll through, and then you can also use it in the air, like that. And then you can use your abilities to kind of stay in the air, go through places, and then get treasure chests And this is like a heart piece. I have one. Let me go. That gives me 1 of 3. If you look in the lower right corner of the screen here, I got 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3. That 1 out of 3 is a heart piece. It's like if I get 3 of them, my maximum health will increase. The skull is my energy, and then the circular coin symbol there, that's my super mode, which, and my energy is represented by those yellow boxes in the top left of the screen. As I use these super moves, it decreases because I can't therefore spam my moves over and over again. I will run out of energy, so I have to resort to normal attacks otherwise. And then my super mode is represented by that orange bar underneath all that. If I'm above the threshold, which is represented by that vertical line, then I can go into super mode, which is like basically I'm just stronger and do a lot more damage, but then it runs out and I can't go back into it again unless I have enough energy to do so. So now let's go ahead and just move forward a little bit. Let's go ahead and fight some enemies. Walk through here. So as you can see, we've got enemies here. We got different attacks. And if you press Y as prompted on the screen after you've hit them a few times, you can then grab them, which is handy because if you throw them into other enemies, it'll disrupt their attacks and sort of group them together so you can combo them better. You can use your super moves to attack as well. And then you get coins, and you can build up a combo to get more. I guess I don't know if the combo does anything necessarily. Maybe it gives you more coins for doing that. As you can see, here is an obstacle. If I only have a single jump, I can't make that. Or even like that. But let's go ahead and jump up here. So you can jump through here, like that. You can do the roll and then uppercut. So there's a lot of interesting platforming challenges which utilize your special moves. And then of course, fighting the enemies is just kind of, I guess you could say it's a little bit filler, but it is like a challenge to overcome to progress through levels. And of course, also to note is that when you're throwing, you are invincible to attacks. So if you need to avoid a group of enemies, if you like are surrounded by a bunch of enemies, then you can grab enemies to sort of help yourself get through that situation. I want to go back here. Let's use our map to navigate down to those blue and red and green spots just to show off my abilities more. Oops. I don't want to show off all of my abilities, so I'm going to just limit myself to the 4 elemental ones. Or, not elemental, color ones. Oh, you can drop through platforms by pressing down and jump, of course. Save point. Here's these vines. You can dodge through, just like that. And if we go up here, I can side special over to get another heart piece. Whoops. Let's see. Again, I don't want to spoil all of my abilities, so I'm not going to grab everything that I could be getting. Red blocks are broken with up special. There, I've gotten 3 of the skull pieces, so I have an extra yellow bar at the top, or yellow box, I guess. And this can be broken with down special. And this is going to lead us into, not really a new room, but a new section of a room. Just to get some money, so yeah. As you get to new areas, you can see treasure chests on the map if you can see them. Like if you fill up the map you'll see treasure chests on the screen. As you can see here, I have 66% as noted in the top right of the map, and that applies to the map. I can actually go to the world map and it'll give me an overall percentage of 56%, and I can pick another area and I have only 35% here. And you can see there are treasure chests marked on the map because I filled out that part of the map, but I just haven't grabbed the treasure chest. Maybe I didn't have the ability I needed yet, or I didn't bother to try to reach it. But there are a bunch of different places, and those color squares indicate places where you can use one of your abilities to interact with the world, which is very good, very helpful for those who want to try to go ahead and get everything. And you can see my total time displayed in the up there. So yeah, I guess you can beat the game in about 6 or 7 hours, but then as you saw in my normal file, which was like more like 11 hours, that is, I guess you can just double the play time to if you really want to go for everything. Oops. As you saw right there, you are trained by the game. The game does have some good tutorials on how to use your dodge abilities to get through enemy attacks. In fact, let's go ahead. Let me just make a jump cut to a new area here. So as you can see here, the game does have, I guess, other parts of town. Let me go. Here we go. So there are towns. There are a couple of towns, I guess I should say, in the game, where there actually are NPCs which you can talk to and get quests from. Like, let's see. Is there a way to look at maybe taking quests? I guess not. And then there is, in this particular town, there's this training area. You can talk to this guy and he'll give you like tasks to do. So jump, jump. Oops. Let's let him reset here. Am I doing too many hits? There we go. So this can be entertaining, and it also, you know, gives you something you can practice. You can see how many combos there actually are in the game. Left trigger. See, it just wants me to connect that. There we go. And there are a bunch of, I guess, references in the game that just give me a bunch of money. There is more to be done if I want to continue. As you can see on the posters in the background here, there's a bunch of references, like here's an E-Tank from Mega Man. Here's like the Mario Brothers. And then here's like the Castle Crashers. Bunch of different references just hidden throughout the game. There's Majora's Mask in the back there. And of course the game has a bunch of comedic bits to it. A bunch of the characters are kind of funny in their dialogue. And the art style, of course, is pretty unique. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it may look kind of like, I guess it has a little bit of a indie look to it, if that's probably the nicest way I can put to it. But I like it. It works out pretty well. And there's a lot to do for finding secrets and optional content. There'd be like gauntlets of enemies you can fight. There's even a section of the game with specific challenges, like timed challenges you can do, those are all optional, but there are extra challenges to take on if you are interested. And of course a bunch of secret areas and ways to use your abilities to platform through challenging areas, mixed in with gauntlets of enemies. Like here we've got enemies which are in different dimensions, and they got barriers on them. They've got those color barriers to indicate that you have to use a certain ability on them first. And then, like I said, if you are holding an enemy in a grab, you are invincible for that moment of time. So if you throw that enemy at the other enemy that may be attacking you, then you'll be totally safe. And of course, the money you gain is then used to purchase upgrades and further strengthen your character. And there are a couple difficulty modes. Obviously this one's on hard. And yeah, it's just a very good game. Totally like it. There is a sequel I'm going to be looking at in the future. Don't know when I'll get to it exactly, but hopefully soon. I also forgot to mention that the whole game is completely 2-player co-op. I mean, you have to play a little bit into the game to unlock the second player, but it doesn't take long to where you can then play the whole game in 2-player. In fact, I believe the Super Turbo Championship Edition is what allows it up to 4 players. I think the original or gold version had just 2 players. This, as you can see at the top of the screen, allows you to put in up to 4 players. And then of course you'd all be able to pick costumes to look different. So definitely a fun game to play co-op. There isn't really a problem with managing multiple players. Usually the camera will just follow first player. So if there are any conflicts of interest, first player gets to make the call. So there isn't any problem with trying to get maybe uncooperative players to help out. And other than that, if you have any questions about the game, you can ask in the comments below and I'll answer for you. And then if you have any game recommendations, any other games similar to this you would recommend me play, let me know about those in the comments as well. But yeah, definitely enjoy the game. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.